starting five, though, as I mentioned earlier, is exactly the same. So once again, for the Nottingham Hoods, it's Demetrius Houston, Luke Mitchell, Delaney Powell, Tom Atkinson, and Garrison Good, and Delaney Powell. So for the Leicester Warriors, it's TJ Henderson, Martin Gale, Roderick Howe, Carl Pearson, and Josh Pollock. We are about to get underway now. Garrison Good will jump up with Roderick Howe, and the first possession goes the way of the Hoods.
That'll be an interesting matchup there, Gale and Powell. Quite similar players, played against each other for a number of years.
Here is Henderson for the Warriors. Inside it goes to Pearson, off the glass, misses. And here is Good. Good going all the way.
Wow, no call there. It's a tough play.
On the follow was it was Atkinson, sorry, but his shot is no good.
Wow. Bit of a hectic start to this game. Somebody needs to take a bit of control, I think.
So it'll be a Nottingham ball. Well, with the delay of the game, I think both teams want to really get underway as quick as they can. Here's Mitchell for the Hoods. Mitchell going all the way.
Oh, tough take with the lefty.
Luke Mitchell with the first score of the game.
I actually noticed that from when the Hoods are warming up. They always work on right, left hand and different finishes and stuff. I really like how that brings out creativity going to the basket.
Luke Mitchell, part of the Division 2 side that won
tough shot.
The NBL title in 2018. Carl Pearson with a three. Powell going all the way. Beautifully done by Delaney Powell.
So there was no help on that weak side, wide open.
Pearson, such a veteran of this Leicester Warriors team. On the ball, here's Henderson, who will see a lot of the ball here today, no doubt about it. Averaging 26 points a game. Pearson misses his two. And here is Demetrius Houston. Houston pulls up for two. And Henderson with the rebound. Henderson. And an offensive foul call. I think that was an illegal screen by Josh Pollock. And the referee in good position to see that. As you say, Tintin, just quite a scrappy opening thus far.
Yeah, I think so, but I think both teams, like you said, the hesitation to start the game at the beginning, and both teams just want to make a fast start. Build a quick lead and then not give it up later, you know?
Houston had his shot partially blocked there. It was a mixture of Howell and Henderson that got the block. And it'll stay a Hoods possession. Powell with the jump shot, no good. Rebound there from Atkinson. Strong move from Tom Atkinson.
Working really hard inside.
Hoods getting a lot of open looks there, but missing both attempts. Here's Henderson for the Warriors. Pulls up for three.
That's a tough shot. Tough shot. Good transition defense.
Mitchell. Good. Putting the moves on Howe. His shot is good. Will it count? No, it won't. In fact, offensive foul has been called on Garrison Good. Substitutions coming in. Martin Gale taking a sit down, and for the first time today, Ewan James, of course. Ewan James, even though he was a Leicester Warriors junior growing up, went to the Hoods, and now he's back with the Leicester Warriors. Obviously, Tintin, you'll know Ewan James' game quite well.
Yeah, very good in the mid-range, makes things happen. Great athlete, good guy.
And Garrison Good.
That's two quick ones right there.
Two fouls on Garrison Good in the early going.
I thought that was a good challenge, to be honest. Both players up real high. Referee, the furthest one away, that's a tough call.
2. Averaged 11 points in his senior year at North Greenville. He's a product of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Of course, his mum is watching on YouTube tonight.
That's great. I do like that family, friends from all over the world can watch these broadcasts. That's great.
Atkinson looking for options. Powell, step back 2 for Powell is good. And the Hoods lead 6-4 with 6:41 remaining. Powell missed the pass there. And it will be a backcourt violation.
That's good defense
there from the Nottingham Hoods. Good stop from the hosts.
I think after last weekend, the Hoods have come out really hungry for this win today. Having spoke to a few through the week, yeah, they were bitterly disappointed, shall I say.
Beautifully done, and the Hoods now lead 8-4. Henderson going all the way off the glass. Beautifully done from TJ Henderson. Averaging 26 points in his first season here in England. Inside it goes. Powell on the turnaround. Henderson with the rebound. Henderson with 4 rebounds already here. Henderson pulls up for 3 and knocks it down. TJ Henderson feeling it in the early going. Powell on the spin, blocked by Howe. There's a scramble under the basket. Howe comes up with it. And Carl Pearson brings it up for the Warriors. You feel that Leicester settling in a bit more to this game. Obviously, we're still midway through the first quarter. Henderson. Shot clock down to 6. Wild shot there. Howe comes up with the rebound. And he'll put it in, and the foul. Referee's just a little unsure whether that was a continuation, but it was. And Roderick Howe will go to the line, and the Warriors leading 8-11. And as said earlier, I feel that the Leicester Warriors are, settling into this game a little bit more than Nottingham.
I think that's very fair to say, but I think also after that frenetic pace, you had guys up and down our first several trips. Now Carl's bringing it down, sort the team out. Everyone knows exactly where they need to be and executing, and it's just what they needed to slow the game down and get the game going their way.
Akil Dublin into the game for the first time for the Warriors. Here's Mitchell. Interestingly, Garrison Good is going to come back into the game on 2 fouls. Powell on the turnaround. Nice pass inside. Beautifully done. Well worked from the Hoods. Henderson going all the way. TJ Henderson with a beautiful move. And a timeout called by the Hoods. Leicester lead 14-10. It's been a good start from the visitors. What have you made of the first 6 minutes so far of this game?
Well, both teams working tremendously hard, especially like a lot of guys crushing boards and really working hard, trying to get those fouls, etc. It seems to be going in the favour of Leicester at the moment. A couple of fouls and one plays and stuff. But I think the Hoods just need to settle down a little bit. They've had a few offences where they've gone to the basket and there's been no driving lane. They just need to find open shooters and just hit those jumpers and take their time.
Absolutely, and TJ Henderson, very well known in this league, a free scorer, had 30 points for the Warriors when these two teams met in October. Of course, the Hoods coming away with a 105-92 victory, averaging 26 points, and last week had 21 points, 6 rebounds and 6 steals against Bradford. What have you made of his game?
Well, he's a tough cover. I mean, one possession he's coming in, pulling up from 3, next coming off a pick, driving and attacking the basket. I mean, you've got to pick your poison with him, and you've got to force him to doubles, etc. I think one-on-one coverage, you'll be in for a long night.
Pat Chibogde, sorry, into the game for the first time for the Warriors. He's playing defense now on Luke Mitchell. Powell loving the spin moves as well. And on the follow and the foul.
Another offensive rebound and one.
Looking through the comments on YouTube, Leicester coach Carl Brown not here today. Chris Hallam, the assistant, is taking charge for this one. Carl Brown is in the States as Patrick Bonde puts it in off the glass. Powell will slow it down for the Hoods. Yeah, Carl Brown in the States on personal business, so Chris Hallam is taking charge for the Warriors here. Houston for three, straight away, puts it in.
That's a real defensive breakdown right there.
Absolutely, Houston wide open. You don't leave a player like Demetrius Houston unmarked. Gale puts up a three, and that's going to find nothing but air. It will be a Hoods ball, game tied at 16, 3:47 left in this first quarter. Here is Demetrius Houston. Had 31 points in the loss to Reading and 24 points in the loss to Hemel in their doubleheader last week. Good into the game, gets his own rebound. And here is Powell, shot clock down to 5. Delaney Powell's got to put up something short with his three. Hood's getting back. Here is Powell at the foul line. Chiponge gets the rebound, and now Leicester can break. Gale wide open. No good. Ewan James looked to get the rebound, but he couldn't hold it. Good. Houston puts on the jacks off the glass and scores.
Great ball movement on the break there in transition.
And the Hoods now lead 18-16, 2:54 remaining. Gale gets it back from Chimbonge. No good. Rebound Powell.
If I was Gale, I'd still shoot as well. Wide open, you've got to have confidence in that shot.
Absolutely. Mitchell for three. And Gale with the rebound. Henderson looking to go it alone. Henderson off the glass. Beautifully done, TJ Henderson.
Just makes it look effortless going to the basket.
One-man wrecking crew at the moment. Garrison good. And he's going to go to the line for two. Garrison Good, who shot 6 for 8 from the field in their loss to Reading last week, had 12 points. As TJ Henderson takes a seat, Carl Pearson comes into the game. And Roderick Howe comes back into the game. As Akil Dublin takes a seat.
Picked up 2 quick ones, just needs to take a break. I always found that quite frustrating as a player. You just want to make an impact straight away, and you just turn that nervous energy into mistakes, and then it takes you out of the game and you're back to square one.
And that happened last week as well to Alex Awumi of the Worthing Thunder, who had 2 quick fouls. In fact, he had 3 quick fouls in the first quarter of their game against Solent, and he sat out for the majority. That allowed Solent to really go on a blistering run to put the game beyond all doubt.
Because Alex Awumi is one of those players where he can just take over a game in an 8-minute spell and just go off for 20, 30 points. Break the game wide open.
Chiponge all the way.
Tough take.
Tough take. Doesn't make it. And tried to save it. Delaney Powell comes up with it. Alley-oop inside. And another and one.
Having played on the same team as Delaney for the past 3 years, it's actually really good to see how he's worked on different aspects of his game. There, you can see the passing on the fast break, whereas that may have not have been as complete as it was a few years back. I'm sure he'll love me saying that too.
Nottingham lead 22-18, 1:44 remaining. Delaney Powell gets the offensive rebound. Matt Hibbert into the game for the first time.
Great move.
Beautifully done, but he misses the layup. Carl Pearson comes up with it. Leicester spin the ball around nicely. Roderick Howell, no good with his attempt. Gets it back, blocked by Good.
Even with the 2 fouls, he's not scared about trying to block shots. Gotta love that. I'm sure if you're Ryan Wesley, maybe you not love it so much.
It's a risk that paid off though. He's got faith in his Americans. Pearson puts up a 3. Ward Hibbert and Martin Gale were fighting for it. I think it's going to end up a Hoods possession. Garrison Good, 6'7", sharing the point guard responsibilities here. Ward Hibbert.
That's just how the game's changed. You've got a 6'10" guard in the perimeter making a post pass to someone who's 5'10".
Good going all the way off the glass, no good. Matt Ward Hibbert comes up with it. Delaney Powell on the floater, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it in the 3rd attempt.
I'll tell you what, Delaney Powell is working the boards this evening.
That was 3 attempts at the 3 bites of the cherry for the Hoods. They make it count a 3rd time. Chimbongi for the Warriors.
Bit of a stagnant offense for Leicester there. I think they just need to get something called and go execute.
Absolutely, there's 6 on the shot clock and 19.3 seconds left of this first quarter as Demetrius Houston takes a seat. And Manpreet Hudal comes into the game for the first time. Chipongbe, no good. Juffa with the rebound. And the Hoods can hold for the final shot of this first quarter. They lead 24-18. Matt Ward Hibbert for 3. No good. And that'll do it for the end of this first quarter. An exciting first quarter, scrappy at times, but very fast-paced. The Hoods lead the Leicester Warriors 24-18. Your thoughts on that first quarter and how it went?
I thought not a lot of organisation there, but just both teams working exceptionally hard on the glass and cleaning up after mistakes, etc. It's kind of hard on the scan report. Like, you can box out all you want, but it's just a matter of will. If you want that ball, he's going to come up with it. But I think the Hoods, obviously, with the 6-point lead here, they just need to keep on doing what they're doing, keep forcing Leicester into those kind of poor offenses where everyone gets a bit stagnant. They drive and they just cough it up. So if they keep on doing that, what they're doing there, I think that second quarter for Hood's going to go in their favour. However, Leicester have got a lot of firepower, a lot of quicks, so they can get out on the break after a few stops and blow this game wide open.
Absolutely. A lot of the offense for Leicester goes round TJ Henderson, Roderick Howell and Martin Gale. You know, who else can step up if need be for the Warriors?
Well, he's been doing it for years, and it's Carl Pearson.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't need to be wide open. He can create his own shot, and he's very, very good at that. You know, he's been making a living doing that. So because you're focused on the Americans and the scan report, etc., you can't forget about him for 1 second. We've already seen, like, the first 4 shots that he was taking it strong to the basket, a couple of open jumpers. They may not have gone down, but, you know, later in this game they will.
Just to remind you that big thank you to our sponsors for NBL Live, especially here in the East Midlands, our first time here in Nottingham. Our sponsors, Wilson are the official ball supplier of the NBL, Dynamic and SportServe. As we get underway here in the second quarter at the Wildcats Arena, Chimbonge inside to Howe, no good. Ward Hibbert with the rebound, Powell going all the way, beautifully done in transition from the Hoods.
That's great, and right now the Hoods have got a player on the floor that hasn't even taken his GCSEs yet. Manpreet, number 23, he's been absolutely fantastic this season, I've heard. He's great for the academy as well.
And Howe will go to the line for two, and there's a few players that have only just completed their GCSEs or are still taking their GCSEs. It's great to see for the Hoods, and bodes well for the future, depending on where they end up and what they end up doing.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I use that I advise all young players to go and challenge yourselves and play at the highest level you can. As soon as you can. You're going to get embarrassed, you're going to get shown up, but you know what? That's all part of the learning curve. The steeper the curve, the steeper the level of improvement. And this kid, he was practicing with us last year, and he was not shying away from any kind of competition whatsoever. And it's clear to see now he's just out there like he belongs out there.
Absolutely. As Roderick Howe makes the first free throw. And makes the second. Tom Atkinson, the Australian, into the game. Back into the game for the Hoods, number 0. Hundal. Here's Atkinson. Nice pass to Hibbert, kicks it out. Hundal. Hoods passing the ball around nicely. Atkinson fighting for that rebound. TJ Henderson comes up with it. Henderson finds Howe, and Howe misses the open shot, but on the follow, scores.
Just padding his stats there, knew what he was doing.
Hundal. Ward Hibbert makes his man jump for joy and scores.
He's such a crafty player. He knows exactly what he's going to do with his body to get position, and I'm surprised we've not seen him in the post, just yet.
First season with the Hoods, spent 3 seasons at the Derby Trailblazers, did Matthew Ward Hibbert. Howe off the glass, tough move.
That's a strong take. Strong take on a good defender.
Inside it goes to Atkinson. Atkinson off the glass, beautifully done from Tom Atkinson.
That's the third left-handed take this evening for the Hoods. Oh God, I'd love to see that.
And the Hoods now lead 30-24 with 8:09 left.
This is a tough matchup now. Could be worried about it in your geography GCSE tomorrow, and instead you've got to match up with one of the best American imports in the league.
You and James on the turnaround. Matt Ward Hibbert just about gets it. The Wildcat roll is good for Matthew Ward Hibbert.
I was expecting the pace to be pretty quick, with these two teams, but not as quick as it is right now. I'm kind of glad I'm retired.
It's almost making you tired just watching it at times, but it's great to watch. It really is.
It really is, yeah, you're right. It's definitely a fans' game this evening.
Absolutely. We've got a near full house at the Wildcats Arena. Nottingham always have good support from what I've been told at the Wildcats Arena. This is my first time here, and it's a fantastic facility. As I said at the start of the show, we've been welcomed with open arms. It's been fantastic, and we will be returning on March the 7th when the Hoods take on the Thames Valley Cavaliers. That should be a great game.
That should be a great game, especially if Hoods keep carrying on improving as they are.
Absolutely. Martin Gale picked Demetrius Houston's pocket, but they have to slow it down. Henderson off the glass, no good, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
I mean, the good thing about this crowd here is, they've been here as long as I've played for the Hoods and years before, and they're here whether the team is going through a good phase or a bad phase. They really live or die with their team. They're not fair weather fans, and after the game they're always offering kind words, support through tough losses, and it's absolutely amazing. A lot of teams that I've played on through the country, your Reading, your Manchester, etc., and they're die-hard fans. They're what keeps the game going. It's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. The support that is here today is fantastic. Down at Solent, we had a beyond full house last week in the game against Worthing. And some great crowds as well for our WNBL game from the England streaming as well on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Showcasing the very best in NBL basketball.
I feel like it's a shame that I just missed it.
Or as Ward Hibbert goes off the glass. You are part of the team here today though, so.
Honestly, I think I'd be rather sat here than running around after these guys.
Hoods lead 34-28, 6:42 remaining in the second quarter. Chimbonge with a poor pass, but Powell couldn't hold on to it.
Seeing some great leadership from Powell today. Throwing good outlet passes, working the boards, getting in passing lanes, scoring. Absolutely fantastic job this far.
Absolutely, and he averaging 15 points this season. He was actually part of that Division 2 team that won the title that you were part of in 2018.
He was a big part of that team.
Absolutely.
And it kind of frustrates me because everyone thinks that I was on that team and it was me and it was what I did, but it was nothing to do with that whatsoever. Everybody was contributing, and we're a team where everybody pushed each other to get better, and we wanted to see each other do well. And you could really tell through the season. We had Tevis Robinson, who was really buying into what we were doing, and with Delaney and Kieran and those guys, it was just absolutely amazing. One of my favourite seasons of my career.
Absolutely.
Especially for your hometown, it means such a lot.
It was only fitting that you ended your playing career with your hometown team as well. Henderson on the ball for the Warriors. Beautiful, creates some room and rattles it home.
I mean, that's a tough shot. You got to really like what Trezell was doing there defensively, but if he's going to make that, you just got to live with it.
Absolutely, Spencer could do nothing about it. Ward Hibbert comes back and scores. Matt Ward Hibbert having a great second quarter for the Hoods, who lead 36-31. Henderson. Martin Gale will slow it down. Holland. Holland's off balance turnaround was no good, but it will stay with the Leicester Warriors.
I mean, sometimes guys get caught up trying to, draw the foul. Just finish the play. If you're fouled, the referee will call that. But that's easier said than done, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Never the most popular job, the referees, but they do such a fantastic job.
I'm not going to make any comment there, because at least at one point, I've had a few texts.
You've had yours over the years. Gale for three, short.
Yet to make one, but he will make a bunch.
Pollock. Tough move from Josh Pollock. It will stay again, a Leicester possession.
Matt Ward Hibbert did a great job covering that shot. Jumped backwards, put his hand up, challenged the shot, put a lid on it. But again, there's one of those things where, instead of trying to draw the foul, just go finish the play.
5:41 left in the second quarter. Nottingham lead 36-31. Has been a fairly even game so far, but there is just 5 points in it. Pollock, shot put down 6, turnover. Mitchell comes up with it. Mitchell to Ward Hibbert. And Ward Hibbert, beautiful use of his body to score that.
Just another great defensive possession by Hoods there, and they're off out on the break.
Chimbonge. Ewan James, open three, no good. Rebound, Ward Hibbert. Ward Hibbert finding more room and puts it in again. Matt Ward Hibbert having a fantastic game thus far. And the Hoods lead 40-31. Henderson. Mitchell with the rebound.
That's back-to-back tough possessions for Leicester there. They need to find something going to the basket.
3 possessions, 3 baskets for Matthew Ward Hibbert. And this is the biggest lead of the game. And a turnover, great defense by Trezell Spencer, who picked TJ Henderson's pocket. Timeout Leicester. And the Hoods, as said, with their biggest lead of the game at 11 points, 42-31, with 4:26 remaining.
Matt Ward-Hibbert made such an impact in that last several minutes, and it's really great to see him, out here performing. We tried to get him a few seasons ago, and I think obviously he elected to go to Derby, regrettably, for us. But it's great to see. I mean, he's had back-to-back scores, but also the Hoods have had back-to-back stops, and that's what all good teams do that leads to success. You get back-to-back stops. And I think Leicester just need to settle down, stop shooting perimeter shots, especially challenged ones, and work the ball around, work their offenses, find something going to the basket where they're not trying to draw the foul, just finish. I think they're making life a bit complicated for themselves right now, but they need to time out.
You feel as well that Leicester are almost relying on isolation plays to start, whereas Nottingham, who started the game quite slowly, are now getting into a rhythm and really are spreading the ball around nicely and getting baskets in transition. For Leicester, it's all about probably not using isolation play as much.
Agreed, and it's always a bit of a dangerous trap to fall into, because when you've got players that are so talented, it's easy just to sit back and just watch them go to work. But it doesn't work like that. You have to work as a collective, and then that will make the game easier for everybody.
4:26 remaining in the second half. Thank you to everyone to get your comments in on the Basketball England YouTube channel. If you have just joined us, welcome. John Hobbs alongside David Tintin Watts, bringing you all the action from the Wildcats Arena. Mitchell. Ward-Hibbert, who has the hot hand, puts up a two, and it's gone cold. And I think that did go off the rim. The shot clock violation has been called, but it did go off the ring, I think.
That's more good board work from the Hoods there.
Absolutely, yeah. Tom Atkinson getting the offensive rebound there. And yeah, the shot clock will be reset to 14 as per rule, the FIBA ruling, and the Hoods will get the ball back.
Another offensive board.
Again, another offensive rebound from the Hoods. Tom Atkinson travelled with it though. Went up with the ball and kept the ball in his hands as he was jumping.
That's always a tough one. You're down there, you're working as hard as you can, and it doesn't go in your favour. But again, I wouldn't be a referee for all the money in the world.
As said, you've had your fair share of arguments with the referees over your playing career, haven't you?
They weren't really arguments. I think I was just right and they didn't get it.
A player is always right. We've got to mention that, haven't we? Spencer is fouled.
A bit out of control there. I think he got bailed out. But again, the Hoods are thriving in transition at the moment. Getting that down the offensive end, sharing the ball and looking for that open shot. I think they forced the issue maybe a little bit too much.
There will be a Leicester possession here. Trezell Spencer, of course, another graduate of the Hoods Junior program, another local boy. What have you made of his game? Especially here today, especially on the defensive end as well.
I mean, that guy is a terrific athlete. I mean, he's done some things that leaves you shaking your head.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to see from him is that consistent jumper, so he becomes a perimeter threat as well as just driving to the basket. And he's shown signs that he's been working on that. Like there, he's got the confidence to take that three. So what I'd like to see from him is raise his percentage from three. Maybe that decision making there, like I said, he attacked. It was a 50-50 decision, I thought. But also, I'm really happy to see him out there.
Absolutely.
Local guy, loves basketball, is committed, good teammate. That's awesome.
And so much of the local talent have applied their trade through this venue, the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. We talk about a lot of basketball dedicated venues like the ones in Leicester, Newcastle. Not many people actually talk about this venue here in Nottingham, of course, home of the WBBL side, the Wildcats, as well as the Hoods. So what does this venue mean to you especially?
Well, I was here from day one when it was first finished being built. I think there was a time when me and several teammates were painting the change rooms as payment for court time. I mean, you've had internationals here, you've had Midnight Madness here a few times. And you are right, it's kind of like the forgotten gem of the Midlands.
Yeah.
It kind of like, because we haven't got a BBL team here, nobody really uses it. But it's an absolutely amazing, amazing venue.
Ward Hibbert for 2, short. And Ward Hibbert almost picked the pocket of Pearson. Chimbombe for 3.
There's another tough challenge shot.
And the Hoods have gotten a lot of them, especially in this second quarter.
I think Leicester's strength lie in ripping and running. You know, and that's not downplaying their level of skill or talent. That's just one of their strengths. They can just get out and run and score in bunches.
Absolutely.
I think at the moment they're bailing the Hoods out by shooting challenge jump shots.
And they are shooting well very early in the shot clock as well. As Mitchell is on the ball for the Hoods. Ooh, Mitchell lost the handle, and Henderson, an open lane for Henderson, who dunks it home.
I give that a 6 out of 10.
Houston for 3. Houston misses. Rebound Juffa. And Henderson comes up with it. Henderson over Juffa. And no good. Good with the rebound. And here comes Mitchell for the Hoods. Harrison Good nearly travelled with it. And here's 2 pointers way off. Carl Pearson now bringing the ball over the timeline. Hoods lead 42-36. Howe looking for room. Scramble under the basket. The Hoods come up with it. Luke Mitchell pulling on the Jets, and Demetrius Houston finishes.
I mean, finally, we had 3 offenses there for both teams that were just really frenetic, really bad shot selection, and then a couple of stops, get out and run.
Henderson from way out. Good with the rebound. Good comes up with it, excuse me. Good. Houston in the corner.
That was a good one extra pass from Luke Mitchell, but I'd like to see him take a few more of those, to be honest.
Final minute of this second quarter here in Nottingham. They lead the Leicester Warriors 44-36. Mitchell. Delaney Powell was open there, instead decides to go inside. No basket. Offensive foul actually is called.
That's one thing Ewan James does do well and has been doing well through his entire career, is stand for charges. Because his feet are so quick, he can just block that driving line. It used to drive me nuts in practice.
That's Delaney Powell's first foul. And while we've got a brief break in play, speaking of Ewan James and how he drove you nuts in practice, what other stories can you tell of a Nottingham Hoods practice, especially particular players that really took it to heart? I mean, obviously you're competitive every time you step onto the floor, aren't you?
I mean, sometimes it's really funny looking back. At the moment, obviously, it's not hilarious whatsoever. But the amount of times I've took the ball and just punted it to the other end of the arena for no reason other than we've just lost, you know. But every practice was really competitive, and you don't hear the end of it until next practice. And it's really funny sometimes. You look back and you think, why did I act like that? Like, if I did it on court, or if one of my junior kids did it, I'd have a serious word. But yeah, because it's behind closed doors, no one sees.
Probably a good thing that they don't see it either sometimes.
Oh, 100%. But it's good because you see all the practice habits that people have got and how they change through the season, and how they're adopting other guys' habits, and it can only work for the better if everyone's on the same page.
So if you've just joined us on the Basketball England YouTube channel, welcome. As you can see, some of the fans here in Nottingham really getting involved and getting in the spirit of today's game. East Midlands derby here at the Wildcats Arena. The Nottingham Hoods leading 44-36. Pearson for the Warriors. Gale. And Pearson missed the handle. He was expecting Gale to pull up for the shot, but instead he elected to pass it. Pearson gets it off out of bounds. Another timeout has been called.
Yeah, another scrappy offense from Leicester there. Tried to do a couple of pin down screens, didn't really work out.
So again, if you've joined us on Basketball England's YouTube channel, thank you for joining us. Our sponsors for today's game, the official ball supplier of the NBL, Wilson, SportServe and Dynamic. And if you've left a comment, thank you. Continue to leave the comments. We always welcome them. If you want to ask Tintin a question about his playing career or anything, please get them in. But try and keep it PG, of course, Tintin. I know you've got some stories to tell, but...
no idea what you're on about.
Quite funny, actually, when we were in Worthing for Thunder against Leicester Warriors back in November, one of Daniel Hildreth, who joined us on commentary, was asked a question of by his
I know where this is going.
His old player Hosanna Katenga, of course, is playing for Central Florida, who asked him about his playing career, and Daniel just shook his head and goes, "Really, do I have to answer that question?" And he did, though, in the end, which was nice. Mitchell on the ball for the Hoods.
That's a strong move.
A beautiful move from Mitchell, unlucky not to score it, but he gets the ball back. Houston's no good.
That's really frustrating. Good take, but there or thereabouts in the finish.
Ewan James putting on the Jets. Henderson, beautifully done from TJ Henderson off the feed from Ewan James, who put the Jets on in that possession. Final seconds of this second quarter. And that ends a very fast-paced first half of basketball here at Wildcats Arena. The Nottingham Hoods lead the Leicester Warriors 44-38. Of course, the Hoods getting a lot of their scores under the basket off second chance points. The Warriors relying heavily on TJ Henderson, who's been delivering the goods, but the Warriors still trail at the half. What have you made of this first half before we go to a break?
Really frenetic. In spells, it just looks like pretty good basketball. Then in the next couple of minutes, it's just up and down, which happens in spells. But you just need someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck and just take control, especially for Leicester at the moment. So you can look to Carl Pearson and Martin Gale, even Ewan James coming out in the second half and really controlling the offense and setting a tempo for Leicester. Whereas the Hoods just need to keep on keeping on with what they're doing. Delaney Powell leading by example, doing a great job. Luke Mitchell firing everybody up. It's just good team basketball at the moment.
It is half-time here at the Wildcats Arena here in Nottingham. The Nottingham Hoods lead the Leicester Warriors in the East Midlands derby 44-38, and we'll be back in about 11 minutes' time.
So Slam Jam, it's a new initiative by Basketball England, targeted at 7 to 11-year-olds. It's about getting the children to have fun, to link basketball with a fun experience so that we can get lifelong involvement in the sport. And it's really focused on engagement and a fun, positive first experience. So it's not so much about the skill development side of basketball. It's really just about giving people a positive first experience of basketball. They're having fun, they're with their friends, they can develop at their own pace in their own time. So it's really developing on coordination, core strength, as well as basketball skills. So there's not necessarily basketball specific games, but they've got basketballs thrown in there. So they're working on dribbling, shooting, passing in a less structured environment than like a training session. And it's just focused on fun and getting primary school age children engaged. When they come to the first Slam Jam session, they get a t-shirt which they can keep. Each primary school, they get some Slam Jam basketballs and a little goodie bag that the children can take home. And another thing, throughout the session, if we see like someone's doing really good at a certain skill or teamwork or being just nice and friendly to other people, they can get stickers. Good practice in sportsmanship as well as being good at the skills. So I think the reason this program is different is that there's a 12-week curriculum and there's different things to work on. And obviously, as a coach, you can kind of chop and change a little bit as is appropriate for the age group that you're teaching. But it just means that everybody's getting that same fun, first positive experience. Literally, we're just trying to get them to have positive experiences with basketball so that later on they can be maybe even just a supporter of the game. Go online, get in touch with Basketball England. They can also search Slam Jam for the local centres to them that run the initiative, and they can inquire and maybe even get a coach to come in and run a 12-week session.
So here we go, start of the third quarter. Hoods lead 44-38 against the Leicester Warriors. Both teams just a little outside the playoff table.
Leicester have just started this half in a zone right now. Probably trying to get the Hoods to shoot a few jumpers.
Mitchell slipped as he passed the ball out. Carl Pearson diving on it and gets it. Henderson putting the moves on good and scoring. Opening possession there from the Warriors, and TJ Henderson now moves on to 20. Houston.
That's a tough move.
Good defense there. I think that was from Josh Pollock. Carl Pearson comes up with it. Pearson, wide open three, but he misses the three.
Yeah, he'll be upset he missed that.
Houston.
This zone seems to be stifling the Hoods a little bit.
Albeit first few possessions of the third. Houston from the foul line, long. And Roderick Howe with a big rebound over Tom Atkinson.
That's one good thing about Tom Atkinson. He's not afraid to get in the middle and just mix it up.
Howe inside and he scores, and all of a sudden the Warriors have it to within two. And a whistle has gone. I think a sneaker malfunction there on the far side as Martin Gale is just tying them up. Keep the comments coming on the Basketball England YouTube channel. If you've just joined us, welcome. Elhedge Torre Jabi, one of the Leicester Warrior players, leaving some messages. Great to have him on board. Shot clock down to 6. Nice passing around from the Hoods. And Luke Mitchell in and out with his three-point attempt. Pearson gets it back off the glass. Pretty move from Carl Pearson over Garrison Good. Atkinson looking for options, finds it. And Delaney Powell will reset. Delaney Powell will go to the line for two.
That's good leadership from Delaney Powell there. Could see that the team's just swinging it around the perimeter, just selling for jumpers, and he decided to take the offense by the horns there and just drive to the hole.
Of course, the next time the NBL Live team will be on your screens will be at the University of Essex as the National Cup finals will take place in Colchester, both the women and the men. Of course, at the moment, the Reading Rockets and Myerscough College are underway at the Rivermead for their semi-final. Pearson for the Warriors. Josh Pollock's three, no good. Pearson fights for the rebound and gets it. Henderson was looking for room. Good defense there from Houston. Shot clock down to 4. Warriors have to put up something. Gale for 3. And Atkinson gives it straight to Pollock inside. Howe makes no mistake. Tough move there from the Warriors.
And that's Kyle Pearson again. Hitting the jumpers, crashing boards, getting everybody involved.
Houston. Delaney Powell from the corner, and he scores.
Both teams need to get out of this trading basket situation right now. Somebody needs to get some back-to-back stops and build on that lead.
Pearson, and he'll go to the line for 2. Substitutions from both sides. Loritus Juffa comes in for the Hoods, and Tom Atkinson takes a seat. Roderick Howe comes out. Ewan James steps in. As we congratulate the Solent Kestrels, who are the first men's team through to the National Cup final. They defeated Loughborough Riders 86-70. Reading Rockets and Myerscough College are currently underway at the Rivermead Leisure Complex. Of course, Tintin, you used to play with the Reading Rockets back in the day. A fantastic organisation.
Yeah, I spent 3 seasons playing there with under Dave Titmus, who was also co-head coach with Matt Johnson. Yeah. Both really good guys and both very influential on my career, to be honest.
Garrison Good way off with his attempt, and Demetrius Houston, excuse me, it wasn't Garrison Good with the 3-pointer, but Carl Pearson comes up with it for the Warriors. Henderson on the spin, kicks it out, and Ewan James way off with his 2. Josh Pollock comes up with it, scramble a bit under the basket. Martin Gale for 3, and he's good with his attempt.
Just how they drew it up.
That's Martin Gale's first 3-pointer in 7 attempts. Houston. Delaney Powell. Juffa battling inside. Game is tied at 50 here. Midway through the third quarter, and Martin Gale knocks down a 3, and the Warriors lead 53-50, and Ryan Wesley has seen enough. He's called a timeout.
Yeah, that's something I mentioned earlier about Martin Gale. I mean, once he hits one, he can hit a bunch. I mean, we were teammates back when I played for the Manchester Giants in the BBL, before he moved on to Cheshire. And always had a great jump shot, and you always had to get out there and cover it.
And Martin Gale, who missed his first 7 shots, has now made 2 3-pointers back-to-back. And the Warriors, who've been trailing for, you might say, the majority of this game, arguably the majority of this game, now find themselves 53-50 to the good.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just down to, they put a clamps on with the zone a little bit, I feel, which knocked the Hoods a little bit. Their offense isn't as free-flowing as it was in the first half. But also, Leicester there, you saw that transition play where Martin Gale hit his first 3. That was not pretty basketball, but he just happened to be open and just needed that first one to go down. Second one, all he needed was that green light, that confidence, and you knew it was going to go in.
course, Martin Gale, a veteran in his second season with the Warriors, and as you said, BBL experience with the Manchester Giants, also the Cheshire Phoenix. And he has 6 quick points to put the Warriors on top. Juffa travelled with it. And the Warriors really coming up with some defensive stops in a 2-minute spell here that really has rocked the Hoods.
I think the Hoods just need to stay up and stay positive now. As soon as body language starts changing, that's when you know that the opposition has the better of you.
5:23 left in this third quarter. Chimbongbi into the game for the Warriors. He's on the ball now. And a turnover. Delaney Powell comes up with it, and Delaney Powell finishes. Poor pass from Chimbongbi. And Delaney Powell says thank you very much. Martin Gale, another three-pointer, puts another one in. Martin Gale with a smile on his face. He's feeling it.
Just can't leave that guy open, especially hitting back-to-back shots.
Juffa inside.
That's a good
partially
feed.
Blocked there from Ewan James.
And for Martin Gale trailing the play here.
TJ Henderson was looking for Gale but couldn't get to him. Instead goes it alone. Ewan James, beautifully done along the baseline from Ewan James, and the Warriors now lead 58-52. Nottingham definitely rocked them this third quarter. Juffa has to kick it out. Delaney Powell wide open for 2, rattles around. It came off Juffa last. And there'll be a Warriors possession, I think. Part of Juffa's hand came off Chimbongbi. And Chimbongbi is a little shaken up there.
It's quite frustrating. The last couple of plays for the Hoods, their shots have been there or thereabouts. Not a bad shot from Delaney Powell, but you know, he needs to knock that down.
There's been a few possessions as well where he's found some room by the three-point line but elected to go in for the closer shot. Henderson, Chimbongbi slips on the floor and it goes out of bounds.
Tough break. You always hate to see that as well.
And that's unfortunately 2 quick turnovers for Pat Chimbongbi, a former Loughborough Riders player. Really useful point guard to have. Really exceptionally quick. But just a poor spell from him.
I think exceptionally quick is being very, very subtle about it. He is super fast when he gets rolling. Oh, great hands.
And there's my basketball skills there as the ball goes out of bounds, and it nearly got us on the commentary table.
Should have shot it.
But I stole it off Tintin as he was about to go for it.
I think you were wide open. You'd have knocked that down too.
Back in my day, I did have quite a wild three-point shot, but I think I was 0 for 100 in local league play. But anyway, Henderson off the glass is good. And all of a sudden, the Warriors have an 8-point lead, 16-52.
That's just a defensive breakdown by the Hoods there. It's too easy to give up. Great
nice pass, though, from Good, and Delaney Powell with an easy finish.
It's a great pass and another lefty finish.
Chimbongbi for 3, short. Rebound, Delaney Powell.
Now this happened in the first half, where Leicester just started going on a bit of a run and shooting wild threes. And Hoods took advantage, so let's see if things change here.
Houston for 3, way off. But Delaney Powell gets a rebound. Step back 2 in and out. Houston gets his own rebound and puts it in. Demetrius Houston with the score. Houston now moves on to 9 points. Pearson. Nice passing, Henderson with an easy score. Nice cut from TJ Henderson. And the Warriors lead 62-56 with 2:40 remaining.
The zone causing them issues again.
Houston wide open though. Juffa with the rebound, and he'll go to the line for 2. As a big man though, you really need to put those in. 6'11" centre from the Netherlands, Lauritis Juffa.
I mean, I always think it's quite funny as quite a tall guy myself, you know, you're always up there, you're always above everybody else, but what nobody sees is that, you've got a couple of little guys down there pushing your hips, pushing your legs. It kind of knocks you off balance a little bit, but you are right. He should put that down.
As I said, it is easier to say that rather than, obviously be on the court. You've had that experience. Loraitis Jaffa misses the first.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever that close to the basket, though.
Yeah, you were always that three-point specialist, weren't you, for each team? Of course, I remember you playing in the three-point contest when you're at the Worcester Wolves. I just prefer to shoot than they're worth more.
If you're open, why not, right?
Exactly.
Chingombe for the Warriors. Nice pass, beautifully done, but
Dublin's got to put that down.
yeah, Kel Dublin misses the open layup.
He's too good an athlete to mess that up.
Houston puts it in off the glass. And all of a sudden now the Hoods bring it to within 3 with 1:59 remaining in this third quarter. Live from the Wildcats Arena here in Nottingham. Pearson, beautifully done, but he's blocked by Garrison Good.
I mean, he was all the way up there for that one.
Well, Cole Pearson was saying that he was fouled. Referees didn't see that. It will stay a Leicester Warriors possession. Five on the shot clock. Ewan James, beautifully done, uses his body in mid-air to score that layup.
That's one thing he does do really well. He goes from A to B and then up in the air real quick.
Delaney Powell, good defense there from Dublin. And the Warriors need to bring it. Yeah, the Warriors needed to take it over the timeline. Yende Lewis into the game for the first time for the Warriors. Chimbombe. And Chimbombe's foul, I think that was on Delaney Powell. If so, that's his second.
Yeah, just got caught trailing the screen a little bit there, that's all.
And amongst the comments on YouTube, Chris Hughes complimenting your hoodie, Tintin. Instead of I love New York, it's I love Notts. I love Nottingham. That's a nice
clothing.
touch.
Gotta love that.
A lovely touch. Obviously representing your hometown or home city here today.
Always.
Chimbombe for 3.
That's
Short.
a tough shot. Matt Ward-Hibbert securing a good rebound, a good outlet pass there, though.
Demetrius Houston puts it in and the foul.
That's a good 3-second offense right there.
Demetrius Houston in transition. Got the stutter step and scored it. He now moves on to 13 points. And this will be his first trip to the line tonight.
There's a lot of talking on the Hoods from the Hoods guys here at the moment. They're just all interacting with each other and just passing on that information where, you set up a press or you're changing the matchups and stuff. The communication out there is so important. I think a lot of people don't realise that, it's not just running up and down.
Final minute of this third quarter, 62-64. Make that 62-66 as Ewan James pulls up for 2.
He gets up in the air so quickly. That's a tough cover.
Powell, good scores. Tough move from Garrison Good. And he has 4 points.
Gotta love that from Dublin, though. That's a couple of times now where he's attempted that charge. It's just not gone his way.
There's about a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Ewan James kicks it out. Wide open 3 is off. Dublin with the offensive rebound and he scores. Final seconds of the third quarter. Garrison Good, no good, and that ends the third quarter. Still all to play for here in the Wildcats Arena. Nottingham Hoods trail the Leicester Warriors 68-64. What a back and forth third quarter that was. Leicester starting the third quarter off with an absolute bang, especially with Martin Gale. And then the Hoods finishing the third strongly.
Yeah, this game is showing no signs of slowing down whatsoever. Both teams out here right now just really working so hard. Leicester really put the clamps on in that quarter, though, just coming out in a 2-3 zone, just trying to make Nottingham beat them from the outside, which they've not really made a bunch of threes right now. But the one thing that a zone does kill you in is transition, and that's really showed. But Leicester, with the likes of Carl Pearson, Ewan James, they've really taken the game over in this little stretch. Ewan especially with 3 quick baskets right there, attacking from the baseline, a pull-up jumper. I mean, I really enjoyed playing with him because he was so quick to spots. The defense just wouldn't be able to follow him.
Final quarter ahead of us here in the East Midlands.
Be interesting to see if Leicester do carry on in this zone. And also to see how the Hoods react and respond to it.
It's one of the rare sights in basketball, as you see on the camera, that the Nottingham Hoods have their own Robin Hood mascot. Of course, we are in Robin Hood country, Nottinghamshire, or county, sorry.
It is our thing, Robin Hood. I mean, despite of what everybody says, it being Doncaster or Derby, it's our thing.
Ewan James on the floater, no good. Nearly got his own rebound, but Luke Mitchell picked his pocket. Powell. Baseline jumper is good, and it's a 2-point game.
That's a tough take.
Pearson and Akil Dublin couldn't hold on to it. Another turnover from the Warriors. 3-pointer on the way from Houston.
Akil Dublin all the way up there for that rebound.
All the way up there, yeah. That was a huge rebound from Akil Dublin.
I mean, that's one thing he can do. He can leave the floor pretty well.
Chimbongbe on the floater. That's a beautiful move from Pat Chimbongbe over Garrison Good.
But Good did a really good job of not, giving up a foul there.
And another turnover from the Hoods, and away come Leicester. Pearson kicks it out. Ewan James for 3. Delaney Powell with the rebound. Mitchell.
Not a lot of movement here from the Hoods.
Good. On the turnaround, off the glass, that's good. Beautifully done there from Garrison Good.
Just a soft press from the Hoods there, just trying to slow him down a little bit.
Pearson. Good defense from Ward Hibbert. Pearson carries on the dribble. Beautifully done, and a 2-pointer there from Ewan James.
Tough pull-up, but he gets up so high on that jumper, that's a hard cover.
Mitchell. Powell inside to Houston. Houston, no good. Rebound, good. Good, puts it in at the second attempt. And the Hoods trail 72-70 in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Ewan James kept the handle blocked by Good. Mitchell comes up with it now. Mitchell all the way. And Akil Dublin comes up with it. Chimbongbe with the long outlet pass to Ewan James, who misses the open layup.
I think it was in between dunking it and laying it up right there.
Ward Hibbert screaming for it. Delaney Powell goes it alone and misses the 2.
Leicester just need to settle now and get a score.
Fans really playing their part here at the Wildcats Arena. A near full house. And they're making a lot of noise. Chimbongbe. And he's fouled by Garrison Good. And that's Garrison Good's 3rd foul. He had 2 fouls in the first quarter, and he's done really well to keep those 2 fouls intact, but that's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, you are right. You can see Luke Mitchell pleading with the referees there, because he felt when he went to the basket it was a similar contact. But you know what? Sometimes it's just the way it goes, and it's easy for me to say now I'm just spectating and watching. But out there, I'd be on Luke's side, be like, come on, guys.
And another product of the Nottingham Hoods. Some that probably might not know. Joe Pinchin, who of course was the social media coordinator for the Leicester Riders. Of course, he's now got a job with the Chicago Bulls. What an opportunity it is for that man.
Yeah, you know what? 100% deserved.
Absolutely, and a former Nottingham Hoods player as well.
Yeah, I mean, he played here a number of years ago, actually. I think when he was at university here, I think. But I mean, he is, if not the most hard-working man in British basketball. Every time I message him or speak to him, he's always doing something or somewhere and just working on his craft.
Mitchell for three is good.
Big
Luke
three.
Mitchell from downtown.
But I feel sorry for his replacement almost, because whoever goes into Leicester now, you know, our last guy went to Chicago, so...
Yeah. And all the best to Joe Pinchin in your new role with the Bulls. We will miss you here in the UK, no doubt about it, as Henderson, step back two is good.
But going back to Joe Pinchin as well, I mean, he's really done some things that have helped out this country's basketball scene. Without Joe and, you know, the likes of Sam Nitra at Hoops Fix, Mark Woods, yourself, I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic that you get everybody involved and keep everybody up to date on basketball up and down the country.
Absolutely. There is a strong basketball community, whether you're a player, a fan, a journalist. That common love of basketball always brings everyone together. Chingbongbe loses the handle, still has it, shot clock winding down, it goes out of bounds. Good defense from Luke Mitchell, and Matt Ward-Hibbert letting Mitchell know about that as well. Game tied at 75 with 5:41 remaining.
And that's one thing that Luke Mitchell has done consistently well through his entire career, is on-ball defense. So quick with his feet and really strong too.
Ward-Hibbert for three, short. And Henderson with the rebound. That's Henderson's sixth rebound to go with 24 points. Pulling the moves on Mitchell, now putting on the Jets, passes it to Pollock, whose two is way off.
Need to advance the ball real quick. There we go.
Ward-Hibbert, extra pass, Mitchell feeling it, but no good.
Hoods crowd desperate for someone to hit a bomb.
We're in that final 5 minutes, tied at 75. What an encounter here at the Wildcats Arena, an East Midlands derby, and we're being treated to a fantastic encounter here. Gale.
Get low on that shot clock again.
Two. Henderson, no good with his two-pointer. It goes out of bounds, it'll stay a Warriors possession. Nottingham fans not happy with that, but it will stay a Warriors ball.
I mean, do we have VAR? Can we do that?
No. Let's not get controversial now.
I mean, that is one thing that I always found frustrating in my career, was when I thought something didn't go my way and I couldn't do anything about it to change it.
Of course, you were just seeing a shot of the crowd here, a near full house at the Wildcats Arena. That was something you actually spoke about off air at half-time. It feels good for you, now that you're not playing, you can actually interact with the fans and catch up with them. What were the, anything that they were saying to you apart from the hellos? And
it's just really nice, because everyone just, they still care about you even though you're not around playing basketball. It's just really nice. But like I said at the beginning, it's
poor inbound
forcing the
pass.
turnover.
And Demetrius Houston makes no mistake about it.
That's a big play.
And Houston now. And the Hoods lead 77-75.
But going back to the crowd again, it was just nice to wander around and everybody just, say their hellos. It was good to catch up with people I wouldn't usually get the chance to.
Ward-Hibbert strips it off Pearson. Ward-Hibbert now on the turnaround, gives it up to Garrison. Good, who scores.
That was good patience by Matt Ward-Hibbert there. Chris elected not to have a timeout and just roll with it right now, see what happens.
Yeah. Henderson puts up a three, knocks it down, TJ Henderson.
And it went in his favour, I don't blame him. That's a big shot.
He's hit a few of them. He's hit a few of them tonight. That's his third three-pointer of the game. He now has 29. Good. Kicks it out. Demetrius Houston misses the dribble. It's a scramble under the basket. Ward Hibbert for three. Short.
It's one of those shots where you wish you could do it all over again, you know? Had his toes on the line. It's the deep two.
Henderson.
There's going to be a heat check.
Henderson puts up another three. No good this time. Ward Hibbert with the rebound. And now Ward Hibbert pushes the ball for the Hoods.
Really forcing the issue there.
And he loses the ball. It'll be a jump ball. And the possession arrow does go the way of the Hoods. So the hosts will get it back. You could just see more teams making a few basic errors as we enter the final 3 minutes.
Yeah, this is the bit where everyone's getting a bit tired and a bit frustrated. But now it's just the important part where you just have to remain calm and just stay focused.
Juffa back into the game, kicks it out to Mitchell. Mitchell pulls up off the glass, it's good.
Just a great take, really smart play. Could have gone to the basket, but was elected just to shoot the easy pull-up banker.
Henderson, great defense from Mitchell, but Henderson gets it over the timeline.
That's one thing about Luke, I just love the fact he's not scared of anybody and stepping up to a challenge.
Henderson off the glass, he'll go to the line for two. And that is on Luke Mitchell, and that will be Mitchell's second foul.
But that's one thing I did have a good interaction with was referees when I asked how my teammates could defend situations better. And 9 times out of 10, I got a really decent answer. Then at one time, I was just told to go away. I think it had something to do with the way I asked the question.
I'm not going to comment on that at all, so. TJ Henderson misses the first. What a game TJ Henderson has had tonight. 29 points. Make that 30 points.
I mean, he's a tough one-on-one cover, showing that he can do it all.
Shot 70% from the field as well, 12 of 17.
Bit of a stagnant offense from the Hoods here, no one moving.
Good, all the way, strong. And the Warriors could come up with it. It's a 4-on-5, but Garrison Good comes back on defense. Roderick Howell is about to check in for the Warriors. Carl Pearson, open three is good. Carl Pearson, the veteran. And now the Warriors lead 82-81.
That guy's been doing it for years. It's not a surprise that at this moment in the game, he's going to knock that down.
What a game we have here at the Wildcats Arena. Mitchell for three, that's way short. Pearson, 1:37 remaining. Warriors lead. And another three, Martin Gale from downtown.
That's a tough shot. I think he may have been fouled on that call too.
And Carl Pearson fouled Luke Mitchell. Warriors lead 85-81. Akil Dublin will take a seat and Roderick Howell will come back into the game, no doubt, for the remainder. Big possession here for the Hoods in front of their home fans. They need to make it count.
Need a couple of scores and a couple of back-to-back stops.
Absolutely, 1:25 remaining. Powell misses. Big rebound from Howell. Time on the Warriors' side. Henderson, floater, short, gets his own rebound. It was blocked, but Henderson will go to the line. The foul is going to be called on Demetrius Houston. And that's Houston's first foul. 1:06 remaining. Big free throws here for TJ Henderson. And he drills the first.
I would like to say Henderson's quietly put together a nice game tonight, but he's had a few spells where he's gone cold or his teammates haven't found him, but he just turns it on instantly.
Henderson, a product of Indianapolis, Indiana, 32 points, check that. And the Hoods call a timeout with 1:06 remaining. And you're Ryan Wesley, what would you be telling your guys in this timeout?
We need to execute right now. I mean, this zone has really slowed them down. So for me, I would try and get to the foul line, take time off the clock, kill the game a little bit so you can just take your time, hit your foul shots, and then press instantly. Make or miss, you need to pick up. If I'm fouling, I'm probably going to foul maybe Pollock. I mean, he's not been to the line once, so we'll see how he fares there. But they just need to take control, slow down, and bury their shots when they're open.
87-81, the Leicester Warriors lead the Nottingham Hoods in what has been a thrilling encounter here at the Wildcats Arena. Of course, the next time we will be on your screen will be on February the 2nd, and it's National Cup Finals Day at the University of Essex. The Solent Kestrels are in the National Cup final. Reading Rockets and Myerscough College are currently playing at the Rivermead in that semi-final. Thank you to our sponsors, Dynamic SportServe, and the official ball supplier of the National Basketball League, Wilson. Big possession here for the Hoods. Carl Pearson with the steal.
Needs a foul right now, take some time off the clock.
And Roderick Howell has it. TJ Henderson is really hammered by Demetrius Houston. 48 seconds to go.
I just don't think he had any breaks right there.
A desperation foul, but it was much needed from the Hoods. However, TJ Henderson now at the foul line with a chance, you could say, to ice it. In fact, no, it's not, excuse me. They haven't reached team fouls yet. Still 4 team fouls for the Hoods.
Hoods need a steal.
So a big steal, yeah, needed by the hosts. Crowd making a lot of noise. And Henderson still dribbling, and Ward Hibbert now fouls him. And now the Hoods are in the penalty, so TJ Henderson with a chance with 43.3 seconds left, you could say, to put the game beyond all doubt for the Hoods, or for the Warriors, excuse me. Makes the first.
I'm surprised they elected to foul Hughes and not Pollock. I mean, I think they just took their time a bit slow on the whole fouls there.
And Henderson makes no mistake from the foul line. 34 points for TJ Henderson. Demetrius Houston misses the layup, and a fight for the rebound between Gale and Pollock. And the Hoods will continue to foul. But it looks like bragging rights for tonight go to the Leicester Warriors here in the East Midlands. However, the Nottingham Hoods did defeat the Leicester Warriors in the reverse fixture back in October, 105-92. So head-to-head, Tintin can play a part in this as well. But it's a 9-point lead currently for the Warriors. And if they reach 13 or better, they get the head-to-head.
That's it. I mean, you'd be surprised at how important those head-to-heads and those points totals are.
And a steal there from TJ Henderson.
And that's the game. You just got to dribble it out right now.
Martin Gale, open three! Punches the exclamation mark on that one. And now the Warriors lead by 13, 94-81, and that is how it's going to end here at the Wildcats Arena. The Leicester Warriors with a big second half to beat the Nottingham Hoods 94-81. TJ Henderson with 35 points, leading, or 36 points, excuse me, leading all scorers for the Warriors. For the Hoods, Delaney Powell leading the way with 20 points and 11 rebounds. Demetrius Houston with 16. A big play there from the Hoods, but it was the second half. And as you said, Tintin, the zone defense really played a part in the win for the Warriors here today.
It totally did. I mean, the Hoods only went 2 for 16 from 3 today. Yeah. I think one of those came within the first 3 minutes. So, I mean, that's something they have to work on and take away with them, you know.
And on the contrary, the Warriors 11 for 34 from downtown, especially in the second half with Martin Gale, who missed his first 7 shots connecting on back-to-back threes, and it kind of opened the gateway, if you will, for a barrage of threes from the Warriors tonight.
I mean, that's all you need sometimes. You see the first one go in, and then it just sets you up for the rest of the night.
My thanks to David Tintin Watts. But here at the Wildcats Arena, it has finished. The Nottingham Hoods 81, the Leicester Warriors 94. Good night, everybody.